Hey mate, welcome to Old Mate Adventures.
Hi, I'm Kel.
And I'm Jed. For nearly 3 years we've been semi-retired, trekking, camping and hunting our way around Australia.
Follow along as we live life on our own terms, exploring the great outdoors and sharing our adventures.
We are down at a spot on the station and we've been here for just over a month. So we're going to structure these episodes while we're working on a cattle station in the NT about the whole month, because we don't do much filming when we're actually up here because we're working, and we don't want to be running around with a camera and GoPros and shit all the time. So we're actually here to do a job, paid work. So yeah, we just been sort of filming when we can, and we'll see how we go. So yeah, it was a bit of a journey to get here. Yeah, we travelled from WA all the way through the bottom end and up to the top through the guts. It was the first for us.
Yeah.
And then
we were hoping to do Great Central Road, but a lot of late rain in the season just made that completely not an option. So extra like 500 and something Ks up the way we went, but probably about 3 days quicker if we'd gone the other way. The road's that shit. So
yeah, it was a longer journey by kilometres, but probably actually a quicker journey in time.
Originally we'd planned probably to go home like through the Great Central Road, but now we're sort of more thinking maybe we'll just go back the way we came and have a little bit more time.
Couple of places.
Coober Pedy was crazy.
Yeah, wouldn't mind spending a night there. Maybe do a couple of touristy things there. Don't know. We didn't stop at Ayers Rock. Stop at the brewery at
Yeah, we need to go back to Alice Springs just for the brewery.
Alice Springs has a mint brewery.
Awesome. We were a bit about stopping at Alice Springs. There'd been a lot of issues at night before we got there, and lots of warnings going out. We stayed at a caravan park just outside of town. There's like 3 of them all pretty close together. Super secure, never had an issue with safety or worried about belongings or anything like that. But the best thing, straight across the road, Alice Springs Brewing Co. And holy shit, it was amazing.
Brilliant marketing on their part.
Yeah, absolutely perfect, whoever decided to put that there. So
it was good. It was really good. Really good beers.
And then we sort of booked it straight up. Night at Daily Water, or 2 nights at Daily Waters.
2 nights there. And then we got to the turnoff into the station, and we got there what time in the Arvo?
So the turnoff to come into the Tablelands Highway. So firstly, we had to get across the Carpentaria Highway, which was way worse than we expected. And then at the turnoff to the Tablelands Highway, which brings us down towards Kayana, is the Heartbreak Hotel, which is also owned by the same people we're working for. So that was pretty cool to have a look at that. That's a cool little outback pub in the middle of nowhere. Turned onto Tablelands Highway to road closed signs, and we were like, oh shit, has someone not told us what's going on? They're like, nah, it's fine, you'll be right. But we got to the to Heartbreak, it was about 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And we thought, we're just going to Kayana, we just want to get there. Originally we'd thought of maybe staying there for the night, or possibly getting as far as the Kayana turnoff and just hanging there and then doing it fresh the next morning. But typical Jed, once we got there, it was like, nah, I'm gonna go. And it
was good.
It was a mission.
Yeah, it was a super big mission. It was probably one of the sketchiest things I've done towing a caravan. But there was no one living at the station when we rocked up. Everyone rocked up the next day. So we just went super slow. It was 65 Ks of driveway. Yeah, we were at 4:30, 5 o'clock.
4:30.
Yeah, and then we got to the homestead just after 9, and so it was long, and obviously once the sun goes down, it was just you couldn't see anything. There's
cows everywhere.
There was some washouts. Yeah, not that we were travelling very fast,
but you're always
we'd have little stretches of good road, and then there'd just be a channel in the road, and you just luckily the fire count has a shit ton of clearance because yeah, it was all over the show.
We had the sketchiest spot. Like, we literally pulled up to like a washout. Jed went to take one track, went, oh no, we'll just stop and have a look, and opened his door to just like
A
the
drop
biggest
off.
drop off. And so we're literally out there with like me on one bloody radio and Jed on the other, and I'm like, yeah, nah, yeah, nah, yeah.
Yeah, torches and head torches and shit.
And then we went back and saw it, like, I don't know if it was the next day, but a couple of days after we got, like, that we were at the station, we went and out and had a look at it and went, shit.
Yeah, it would have been a complete diff breaker.
Yeah.
That thing. And then 5Ks from the homestead, we it's all dried up now. It dries up so quickly, but it's there was a bit of a creek crossing, and it was probably like half a metre deep. But it was like 8:30 by then, and we were just over it. And we were like, the classic, you got to get out and walk everything. I was just like, nah, fuck this. I'm just sending it. And there was a bit of a whoop on the other side, like a massive like wombat hole. And we sort of hammered it through the thing, got up, down, and then I could just see the caravan clearance lights just going up and then down and then up. Anyway,
yeah,
we got in and it was all good. And it was a good mission for the caravan and the setup. But yeah, and then we've got here, and we've been working for the last month and a bit, and yeah, it's been good sort of settling in and getting to know all the crew and sorting everything where everything is and who everyone is, and yeah,
getting all the jobs done. So yeah, the station that we're on hasn't been lived on in over 4 years. It was previously owned by an overseas company. The people that have bought it now used to like lease land to have cattle on and stuff, and then they've actually bought the land and the station and stuff. So yeah, like obviously what goes with not being lived on for ages is
rundown,
heaps of rundown stuff, heaps of cleaning and all that sort of stuff that needs doing.
Yeah.
Water issues, like making sure everything's running properly, plumbing issues,
lawn mowing,
oh my god, so much lawn mowing.
Everything's overgrown. Nothing,
Yeah.
There's been no love for years.
Yeah.
It's when we first got there, it's you walk around the place and it's like a zombie apocalypse. How like everything just all the gardens and everything just sort of starts to take over everything.
Yeah.
And fences and everything, but
you realise how quickly nature takes over.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, it just eats everything up, eh?
Yeah.
Talking about Alice Springs Brewing. Here we go. Look at that big bad boy. That's not a knife, IPA. And we bought a few of them before we left Alice Springs. And they're pretty good.
Last one's left.
Last ones.
They also have another one called This Is a Knife.
This is a knife?
So That's Not a Knife is 6.5% IPA, which is fucking insane. But This Is a Knife is like 8.2.
Yeah, it's pretty good though.
Whoa!
Hey.
It's a boy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, how good's that?
Oh damn, that tastes different after drinking mid-strength.
Drinking 4X for a month.
Surprisingly though, 4X is actually not as bad as I remember.
Nah, I
I'm a fan of it now.
I'm pretty...
Might be converted.
Yeah,
Shit.
Years ago when we lived in Queensland, I hated it.
Yeah.
But yeah, now
Now it's good. But anyway, IPA is way better.
this is pretty good. So the deal is, obviously, we still have to work. We unfortunately don't have unlimited funds of any sort.
So we've done the last 2 years up in Port Hedland, working like the dry season, winter, which is awesome because we can earn good money that keeps us on the road for less time having to work. But 2 years in a row, the whole point of this whole lifestyle is that we're not doing the same thing all the time and we're not stuck in a routine and things like that. So started putting feelers out. We worked on a cattle station in Queensland in 2012 when we did a small or very quick lap and really enjoyed it. But back then we did 2 roles. So I was the station cook, Jed was mechanic and all-rounder, which was awesome. But as the cook, I'm literally the first person in there in the morning, last person out at night. And unfortunately I was 12 years younger back then and also hadn't been through treatment and all that sort of shit, and I just don't have that kind of stamina anymore. So and Jed loves cooking and stuff like that, so the idea was let's get a cook role and job share, which worked out awesome. We put a shout out on Facebook.
Got hammered, eh?
I think it was station workers or...
Station Hands and Work or Rural Work Australia or something like that?
Yeah, something
just on
like that.
Facebook, yeah.
Got a couple of hits. There was another one that we were looking at. Obviously, we wanted coastal. It's normally...
Couple of hits. We got about 20 job offers.
Got lots of hits.
Yeah.
That we were actually interested in.
Yeah.
I think Maddie was actually the first person who contacted us.
I think so,
and
yeah.
then we had others. She contacted because Jed had put in his post that, you know, we wanted something close to the coast. We do enjoy fishing, all that sort of stuff. So Maddie had contacted and said, look, we are a fair way from the coast, but, you know, this would be perfect. We don't have enough work for full time. So if you guys want a job share and just help out around the place, like that would be awesome, but totally up to you.
Yeah, and I found it interesting that like they were living on here for the first time and having to work everything out. I thought it'd be a bit more interesting than like a company station which owned by a company and then had managers, not the owners.
Yeah.
And, so this is good. It's like when I was like, it's the owners.
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff. I was like, yeah, this is going to be
Something
sweet.
a bit different.
Yeah. Obviously, in the previous years, we've both had good wages, and we can usually stock up on cash pretty quickly. But we knew that this year is going to be down to the wire. With living expenses and everything, even out here, well, we've got other living expenses, but like we've got loans and stuff like that, and
we've still got insurances
and regos and health insurance and all sorts of bits and pieces that come out.
Internet. So where we are out here, absolutely no phone reception whatsoever. So thank God we got Starlink earlier this year.
Starlink everyone's got Starlink up here, right?
Yeah, it would be an absolute nightmare without it.
Yeah.
There would be no communication whatsoever.
It would be terrible. But other than that, like everything else is free. Covered. And so, yeah, but on return of that, we have accepted we were going to get a lower wage no matter what, because one, we job share, and farming's never going to pay as much as like mining. And so, yeah, but it's enough for us. Like we've been paid for the first month, and
it'll be enough for
and
us
it'll be enough to, and we've already
keep our heads above water.
And in the future, like they've said, when they muster the next door neighbour station, which they own as well, like we'll have some time off when no one's here, and we'll get paid less, and we're fine with that. So this is a bit of a down year, and so far though, for the first month, it's worked out great. Like, you know, we don't have to do a cooked brekkie in the morning, which we did at Keller had to at the other station. So that saves us having to get up with the normal crowd. Like we don't have to get up at 5:30 in the morning, because I also do a bit of helping out as well. And, you know, I'm a bit of a handyman and doing the veggie patch and lawn mowing, and then helping Kel out with the kitchen. So they're getting more than just like both of us just sitting in the kitchen. And so that allows us to sort of like not get up super early, but we still work to like, you know, you're still there till 7:30, 8 o'clock most nights. If
everyone's on time, which is hit and miss. we can sort of be out of there by 8 and cleaned up and out of there by 8. But yeah, the big bonus here is not having to do the cooked breakfast.
Yeah, that saves the day a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the financial side, like, yeah, it's just going to be a bit of a slow year. We don't know what it's going to be like at the end of the year, and we've already sort of made some sort of plans to pick up a little bit of work when we get back into WA.
Maybe look at like house sitting, all that sort of stuff while we're home.
We'll work that out when we get to it.
Work all that out a bit closer to the time.
Yeah, another good thing about working up here is I had permission from the owners and everything to shoot on the property, which has been good because I don't get a lot of hunting in these days, and I do love my fishing. I was brought up like with firearms and hunting rabbits and foxes and stuff as a young kid. So yeah, it was great to be able to get a bit of time to hunt down some pigs and something a bit different than we don't get too many of in the southwest, and definitely don't. We do a bit of fox shooting and rabbit culling and stuff in the southwest, but definitely don't get the abundance of feral pigs like they do up here. But we've set up a pig trap, and which you know, if cattle come into the yards that die, or we do killers every month, or probably 3 to 4 weeks, and we put the carcasses in the pig trap and everything, and yeah, it just sort of brings any pigs in that are around the area, and is an easy way to sort of cull them. Well, Bill, the owner of the station, and our chopper pilot today while we're mustering, he just gave me word that there was a couple of pigs out near the pig trap, outside the pig trap, but hanging around. So while he just dropped off a heap of iced coffees. That's pretty funny. Anyway, I'll see if I can push through these gates and go for a wander, and I'll probably have to go on foot. Couple of ballistic rounds to start with. Pig trap is just over there, about 200 metres. Oh, they're in the pig trap. That was slightly cheating, but yeah, there was just one pig hanging outside the pig trap. But there looks to be about 10 pigs in the pig trap, and then I shot another one that was trying to get out, so he's still in there. But I've got the shotgun in the car, so I'll just go back quietly and see if I can just finish the rest off inside the cage so they don't break the cage apart. Happy days, finally some pigs in the pig trap. There's a few in there. We got like 10. It might be cheating, but oh well. How good's that? First boar in the Northern Territory. Slightly cheating. I'm literally half a metre from the pig trap, and this guy was circling the outside. Yeah, so we got 14 all up. 12 in the pig trap, 2 out of the pig trap. But yeah, anyway, it's good to get on the board regardless with the 6.5 Northern Territory and started off with a boar, which is awesome. Anyway, good start to the day, and it's just Wednesday morning, just living the dream. Oh, I'm knackered now, my shoulder's sore. But yeah, pigs are a big problem up here. They destroy the native land and everything.
Absolutely everything.
People might argue that cattle destroy the land. Fair enough, but yeah, nowhere near like what feral pigs do. Yeah. You can control cattle, you can't really with pigs. Anyway, yeah, it's a good change. Even though we can't do as much fishing and stuff like that we're used to, and we're so far from the coast, it's good to be able to run around with some guns and and shoot some feral pigs. Some people might not see it that way, but I don't care.
Yeah, splits the crowd.
Yeah.
At the moment, we've only got a crew of 7 of us, plus 2 little kids that are the owner's kids. So yeah, super easy to cook for. Occasionally, the owner, her dad comes in to help with mustering, so he'll be coming and staying. Visitors coming and going.
It's a pretty smaller crew than
way
used
smaller. So it's kind of just like cooking for a big family rather than like, so this other station, I had a base crew of 13. A lot of the time we had a couple of chopper pilots that would rock up all the time. So most nights I was cooking for between 15 and 17. And then it blew out like even more than that in the big musters.
30?
The most I cooked for was 32, which was absolutely insane. And basically all you get is stew.
Just a big pot of stew.
A big pot of stew. But here, like having a smaller crew is really good. It means like,
it's
I
been
can
good.
bake heaps of different stuff and like not just having to bake everything in bulk and like not really be able to spend much time on it.
Yeah. And we've got a couple of young ringers that just fucking eat.
Yeah, so we've got the
Holy
7 of
shit.
us at the moment, plus the kids, and then there's another ringer or 2 possibly, or extra workers that are coming. So they'll be
next
here,
month or something.
Yeah, next month or so. So that'll expand our crew just a little bit, but it also means like we're not doing killers as often as we did last time. So the meat obviously lasts a lot longer.
Yeah. And that's one thing I want to learn a bit better once I'm here. Like I didn't pay any attention last time on a station, and so yeah, I've made it pretty clear to the owners. I'm like, I want to be involved in every killer. So it's good, yeah.
They're awesome.
We've just done our first. We've just done our first one, and like, it's good. They brought over a heap of meat on when we first rocked up here, and then
done our first one here now.
Yeah, just recently, and that was good. Like just learning a bit of stuff, and then
showing you all the
and we might.
Comes from where.
I'll see how I can put it into a video and about how it all works, because it might be interesting for people to realise like how the whole system works on the station. Yeah,
and where it'll come in to maybe like putting it into something is your big project.
Yeah, I've started building a smoker. So yeah, the owner was pretty keen on getting a smoker built. So we found an old water trough, and I've just started to get a bit of time and chop it all up. But it should be pretty good.
That's coming.
It'll be a work in progress, and when I get the welder and bits and pieces, I can get a bit of time and sort it all out and put that together. Don't really know what I'm doing, but I'll Google some stuff and it'll work out. You just got to pass smoke past the meat, and happy days. So
just have to cook the meat.
Cook the meat, yeah, that's it. So I've started a veggie patch. So other than just the cooking side of things, we'd organised with the owners before we rocked up here. I said, I love gardening and whatever, and they said, there's a shit ton of mowing and gardening to do, and also started a veggie patch. I ordered some seeds when I rocked up, and they've just rocked up, and we started some small seedlings. I got snow peas and bits and pieces. I'm going to start the veggie patch today, or start some seedlings anyway. So I've been scabbing some buckets and bits and pieces where I could find them, and start getting some seeds sorted. As soon as we got into Alice Springs, I started germinating a couple of seedlings. I've got some basil and spinach. The spinach is been a bit of a pain in the ass, but the basil seems to have all sprouted. All you do, wet a bit of paper towel, and then chuck them in a Ziploc bag, and keep them like that for a few days, and keep checking them till they start doing that. And then I just made some very basic DIY rock wools. It's just a bit of paper towel with a lucky band wrapped around it, and it soaks up all the moisture like that. Does the trick. Pool noodle's just there to stop it all moving around.
I sprouted some snow pea seeds in here, which I'll plant in here. Some spring onion, just regrowing some spring onion, chop the ends off, once you've used the rest of it from the store bought, and then just replant the root part back in there, and you can see they're already growing pretty good. That's only been like 2.5, 3 days. Got some basil in here, only 2 sprouted, that one there and that one there. But yeah, I'll sort these snow peas out, plant them in here, and hopefully get them going as well. Snow peas usually turn out pretty good. Yeah, you can see it's already cranking. So yeah, just chuck that root down, cover him up a little bit. You can see this one here, he's already started to grow his vine up the top there, roots down the bottom. Well, I'll see how that goes. I'll give it a little water, and we'll keep an eye on it over the next few days, and should start to see some growth, hopefully. Yeah, I'm starting a few seedlings out here, and we've got a snow pea just started there. Another one's under there. He's coming through. A few snow peas. Spring onion is re-sprouting pretty good. Got a couple of sneaky little basil seedlings, and they're just starting to take off. And I've got a couple of snow peas in here as well. This little fella, I've just chopped up a couple of cherry tomatoes and jammed them under the soil, just as is, and we'll see if they sprout. Now this is the start of my veggie patch. I got some snow peas going on here. Yeah, I did a bit of a rough framework here and stole a bit of fencing, and the snow peas should just work their way up there. I might have to get some longer star pickets and make it pretty high, because I'm pretty sure those snow peas will go pretty big, but I might be able to sort of weave them through and make like a bit of a hedge of snow peas. That's the plan anyway. Yesterday I went and scabbed a garden bed that I found over in the tip actually. It was all overgrown. We seen it there a couple of days ago, and it looks in pretty good nick. Yeah, I'll put that in position, find a spot for it, and I've got the skid steer, so I know where there's a bit of a pile of dirt. I'll go put the bucket on that and bring some dirt over and fill it up with some dirt. I've had some seedlings and bits and pieces over near the kitchen that I've sort of just been watering every morning and whatnot. But yeah, now that I've got a little garden bed here and a bit more established, I've got the star picket bangerina thingy. I'm going to smash a couple of star pickets in while I've got them. I found a couple of old ones, and I'll put another piece of mesh up later for when the tomato plants grow a little bit bigger, and then I can start tying them up on that on a bit of a trellis sort of thing. Here's I got here, these are my capsicum seeds. I just pulled the seeds out of a capsicum we got from Coles, yeah, and just chucked them all into soil, and we've probably got about 30 bloody capsicum plants there, but we'll just pick the best ones. I'm not going to plant 30 of the bloody things. And these are cherry tomatoes, and all I did, same sort of deal as the capsicum, I just chopped up a couple of cherry tomatoes, sliced them all like discs, planted them just underneath the soil, and I had a heap, probably like 30 again, sort of seeds germinate, and I just probably picked the top sort of dozen, the ones that were the tallest, and put them all in soil. See how those guys, one of them's already carked it, let's pull him out. Yeah, we might have just a mass amounts of cherry tomatoes. Today is harvest day of the spring onion. Yeah, it's starting to sort of lose its strength a little bit. It's fairly windy here, so it's getting hammered a little bit. So yeah, I'm just going to trim it all down and cut it all up, and we're going to freeze it because we've got a surplus of it at the moment. And then you can just thaw it out and use it whenever you need to, in salads or stir fries or whatever you want to do. So yeah, just going to trim this and then freeze it and store it. Snow peas have been going well. They're starting
to get a hold of the wire mesh here and worked our way up. Yeah, so that's my surplus of capsicum seedlings. You can see I harvested probably about half of them, and these ones are just back up at the moment because they're still fairly small. But yeah, I've planted 1, 2, 3, 4, got 8 of them planted at the moment, and we'll see how they go. And in these cherry tomatoes, and I've just culled out all the small ones and kept 4 or 5 of the big ones in each pot, and when they get fairly established, probably about twice the height that they are now, I'll replant these in here, and I've already got some steel pickets ready to go, and I'll put some mesh up and we'll see how they go. So yeah, the veggie patch will be a fun little project over the time we're here, and it's good to get back into gardening because I kind of miss it. Strangely enough, I love growing shit.
So of course he puts the veggie patch like right outside the caravan, so
yeah,
you can like see it every morning first up.
It's great. It's my morning
Goes
routine.
in there and
Waters me.
water his veggie patch and
Yep, it's great.
get all the caterpillars out.
Fucking caterpillars. Fill me head in.
Yeah,
Good
that'd
fun.
be really cool to see that grow and see what it's like when we leave.
Get me veggie on.
Just gotta pig proof it.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking pigs. Yeah, and then the last thing has been pretty cool is the bird life. We've got our little book out. I think it's
Many times.
yeah, many times. Lots of new birds. It's pretty awesome. Get bee eaters.
Yeah,
they're pretty wicked. They look awesome.
Yeah,
Some of them you
so
see are like
bright.
lit up, and we get a few wedgies hanging around the place.
Yeah, not seeing them as often. Heaps of kites.
Heaps of kites. Now we've got the pig track cranking.
Yeah.
Kites are in hard. It's good.
Oh, and the crazy pick line.
Oh, the pick line.
The apostle birds.
Oh, that they are?
Yeah.
Apostle birds, yeah.
Apostle birds.
Yeah, we find them in groups
great.
all over the place. And
They like got like little gangs.
we've definitely got a gang near the kitchen
Yeah.
that comes in and
Comes through.
just they have like this pick line almost, and then just like comes
Go
through and
looking
like
for-
there's like a dozen of them, maybe a
looking
bit
for
more.
scraps that the kids have dropped.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, since we've been here, just recently, I've learnt a new word.
Oh shit.
You don't like this word, eh?
I don't get the attraction to it.
Yeah. The word is
Bogey.
bogey.
Which Jed spent a good 3 days probably thinking meant going for a shit.
Having a shit. So the story was the owner has an earth moving business as well. The fella that works for him was a young fella, his early 20s, and he was driving a loader, and we were cooking him dinner, and the rest of the crew were mustering the next door neighbour station, so they were away. So it was only me, Kel, and Ben, and he'd come in every night and say, "Look, I'm just going to duck off for a quick bogey," and I was like, "Okay," because I just assumed he
Jed
meant.
didn't bother noticing that he came back clean. Like
Yeah,
with wet
I just
hair
thought,
or-
mate, he's just a pretty regular guy, you know, just likes to have his poo at like 7 o'clock at night. And then about the third or fourth night, I don't know what it was.
You noticed he came back. I think he
Yeah,
washed his hair
yeah,
or
something.
or-
I was like, or it took a bit longer than I thought. And I was like, hang on a minute, like, when you say you're going for a bogey, what are you doing? And he's like, shower. And I'm like, right. So that makes sense. And I just assumed, yeah, he was having a poo.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Because Jed just assumes everyone's
having a poo.
having a poo all the
But
time.
but yeah, it was just like, all right. So yeah,
So
anyway.
now it's Jed's word of the month, year. I don't know how long
Oh, it's a
it'll
good word.
last. I think it's going to
Yeah.
stay.
Yeah, maybe it's. I don't know if it's just the NT thing. Is it just an NT thing?
I don't know.
You probably. I don't know if you could take it out of the NT.
So yeah,
So if you're having a shower, you're having a bogey.
you're having a bogey.
And heaps of people have said it since. So now
Hear it all the time.
that I realise what it is, yeah, people just say it like not as like a. I think it's a cool word, but not. They just say it in normal context. I'm just going to have bogey. Yeah.
I wonder
Right,
how
that's
many
pretty
times
funny.
you missed it
Yeah.
before,
Yeah. Oh,
but it was only because it was
definitely.
just us and Deno.
I've got terrible hearing, so would have gone hand in hand.
Probably.
But yeah, Aria is a funny word.
Anyway,
Word of the month.
bogey.
Bogey.
Yeah, like as Jed was saying before, was sort of because we are actually working, like it is obviously a lot harder to film things. Like do definitely want to film a lot more cooking and things like that, but you know, as we've been finding our feet and settling in and working out where we're at, sort of, you know, it's a bit hard to film properly and like have the camera out and shit like that. So as we sort of get used to like what the crew likes and what I'm cooking like more often and things like that, obviously like once the smokers get cranking, yeah, like we definitely film a fair bit more of that sort of stuff and get all that in there as well.
Yeah, I want to sort of film a bit more around what our life is like on the station and the jobs we have to do and the bits and pieces and more at the end of it all after our time here is to sort of, you know, if someone's looking at, you know, doing this sort of work in the future, you know, if you're semi-retired or even grey nomads or whatever, you know, you can sort of get a bit of an idea on what you'd be in for and because there's plenty of work around and yeah, it's quite good. And yeah, like the bonus thing about the end of working on a station, I think wherever you are, if you've done well by the owners and all that sort of stuff and you've worked hard and everything, it gives you an opportunity to go back there. You know, they wouldn't have any reason to sort of say, no, you can't come and camp here for a couple of weeks or go help them out if you want to or whatever. You get those connections.
It just opens opportunities for years to come, which is exactly what we want and love. So
yeah, and hopefully we do it year after year. Like might not go back to the same place, but might branch out in bits and pieces. Yeah, so far it's been
awesome.
It's been good.
I'm
it's
looking
good.
forward to it.
Yeah,
I reckon it's going to be
you get a bit nervous making that decision, travelling 4,000 clays in one direction, and for a job that's not going to pay that much, you already know that. But
and the isolation is next level. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. Like even here at the moment, like we're on our own on a 1 million acre property plus, and we've told the owners because they're on the next door neighbour station what we're doing. The Savo, we've got a Zolio, we've got a time that we'll be back. You just have to be on your A game because you are so in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And for some people, that's not awesome. Like people would freak the fuck out.
But Jed, it's ideal.
It's lovely. I love it. I hear a plane going over at 30,000 feet. I'm like, hey.
What are you doing?
Hey, fuck off.
But no,
cool.
It'll be good. And, you know, obviously a lot of the stuff we've done over the last 2 and a bit, like we're into our 3rd year, has been coastal and fishing and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, we get it. It's a bit different to what we've been putting out before, but the whole point of us documenting what we do and like what we've been doing so far and what we're doing into the future is this is just about our life and how we like want to live our life from now on, like on our own terms, doing our own thing, not being stuck, you know, in a house that we have to like maintain and a job that we're 9 to 5 and hate and things like that. So while it's like a lot different to what we've been doing, hopefully like it's really interesting still. We find it really interesting. We love it. There are probably parts of it that maybe some people aren't interested in, potentially like the shooting and things like that. But, you know, we'll always tell you when that stuff's coming up, and if you don't want to watch, don't watch. That's fine. Like we're totally fine with that. But yeah,
it's just part of the lifestyle out here, and it's what happens all the way up here, and it's the reality, you know. Like, and if people, you know, want to sort of do this sort of work and that in the future, and maybe think they want to work on a cattle station, they have to be ready for those sort of things, because that's just what happens. Like, you've got to protect the land, and unfortunately there's feral animals, and most stations, pretty much all stations, do some sort of shooting and culling and baiting or whatever, trapping and stuff. So because there's so many feral animals up here. But
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a few more months of bits and pieces that happen along the way, and projects and cooking, and
Yeah.
probably not much fishing. Although, yeah, hopefully. So
We'll get back here.
Yeah, hopefully we get back out here. They also have a little shack on a river out past Borroloola,
McArthur
called
River.
King Ash Bay, on the McArthur River there. So hopefully once we get some downtime, we'll be able to go and spend a few days, maybe a week out there, and get some barra fishing in and stuff like that. So yeah, still be a bit of fishing, but
yeah,
it's not going to be focus for a while.
No. Unfortunately.
Cool. No, unfortunately, you'll survive.
Yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah. Anyway.
Cheers.
Time for another beer.
Cheers. This beer
left.
is amazing, eh?
How good is an IPA when you haven't had a craft beer in ages? Wow. I found it online at a liquor store in Darwin, so yeah, keep an eye out. Alice Springs Brewing Co.
Boom.
Bloody amazing.
It is good.
Let's do it.
I'm just going to savour that moment. The taste is still in my mouth.
For a moment.
Can I have the rest of yours? Oh. Guess that's a no.
Sorry, none left. I'm not going to leave that there.
Fuck 'em.
In action.
What were you saying?